So maybe you've tried Roll20 as your virtual tabletop for your TTRPG games, and then found it to be a little too clunky for your liking. But in the last 4 months, Roll20 has been implementing these huge updates to their virtual tabletop, and today I want to share with you the 4 updates they've come out with lately that has made my life so much easier as a dungeon master who regularly uses Roll20. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Tony Rodriguez, and today I'll be your encounter smith. Here, we like to come up with innovative ways to keep your TTRPG games both fun and accessible. So let's get started with some of these updates. Okay, first, I want to show you the UI bar on the left-hand side, specifically the bottom of it, where it now shows you indicators of what layer you're currently on. Now, I know this seems like a super small change, but I can't tell you how many times I've been ping clinking or not being able to move something on the map just to find out that I'm on the wrong layer. Before, we had to click through to see what layer we were and then change it, but now it is large and accessible with individual icons here at the bottom of the page, and when you hover over them, it shows you the hotkeys for them if you want to learn those. Again, a super small change, but one that saves you a lot of time when you're jumping through maps and tokens and what have you. Now, the second update I want to go over is even smaller than that one, but I wanted to highlight it for a specific reason. All it is here at the top is now you have the ability to completely collapse this sidebar. Now, again, that's a super small thing, but the reason I wanted to highlight it is because this wasn't something they originally intended for. This is something that they developed because of feedback with the changes they were already making. They were making a lot of changes to this UI bar and realizing to make those tokens bigger for people to see their layer that they're on, they had to make this bigger. And because it was bigger, it took up more real estate of people's screens. Now, if you're playing on a lower resolution screen, like maybe a 1080 or 720 screen, this bar is actually pretty big and in your way. So I wanted to highlight the fact that during all of these huge changes that they're making to Roll20, they're still listening to people and making changes accordingly. Now, the third change I want to go over is one of the bigger ones they've made, and that's completely redoing the measurement tool. One, making it more accessible and making it more customizable and usable. Let me show you. It's really great. So if you hit the ruler over here on the bar, you can see now that we can easily make a line to determine distance between 2 points from any token, and it'll snap by default to the center, and it shows you how many feet or squares you'll need to have to be able to move to that certain location. Now, what's great about this is that you can actually change the grid snapping to not just snap from the center, but snap from a corner, or you can even not have any snapping and literally have a distance between anything. Another great feature that I didn't even think about is being able to broadcast to others and turn that off. So if you're planning your next big fireball, but you don't want people to know you're doing that, or if you're planning a big spell as a DM and you don't want your players to already know about it, you can hide broadcasting to others. So then you can just make all of the calculations yourself without distracting other players. Now, the reason this is so cool because it's not just distance anymore. You can change this to squares, circles, and cones for all of your spell templates. And the customization here is pretty great. Now, depending on how long your cone is, you can really determine who and who isn't in your cones or other spell templates. If you want to get nitpicky as to the degrees of angle of your cone, or if the end of your cone is rounded or flat, you can also change those things. And even better yet, you can do it from a point of origin, or you can do it from the edge of it. So if this person was using Thunderwave, I can measure out the square that it would affect. Again, super simple, but super useful. And again, all of these things to make your combat flow a little bit better is going to make your combat more exciting. And the last thing isn't really something I can show you, but it's a very small thing when you're setting up your Roll20 game. So before, whenever I set up a new game for players to join, I would have to first share the link for them to join the game. And it's not until they join the game could I then make a character sheet and then assign their account to the character sheet for them to now edit. It was a big hassle in terms of scheduling of just setting up a game. Now I can just share the link with my players. They can click it and make their own character sheet within Roll20. You look at all the character sheets I have up here, I didn't make any of these and assign them. They were able to create the character sheet and then edit it right away. And it automatically assigns them the permission to edit and control it, and puts it into their own journals. They even have the ability to assign their own tokens to the character sheet. Anything to help me in my prep for a game is only going to make the gaming experience for everyone better. Now, if you want more details on the updates Roll20 has put out and they're planning to bring out, then be sure to check out the Roll20 reroll streams on the Roll20's official YouTube channel. Now, all these updates to Roll20 are really great, but they're not that much helpful if you don't already know the basics of Roll20. So if you still need to learn the basics of Roll20 as a free user, be sure to check out this playlist here of all of my beginner tutorial guides to using Roll20. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.